So today I'm talking about a P0330 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. And so what is a P0330 code? Well, it's a knock sensor to circuit bank 2. And what does this mean? Well, engines have what's called a knock sensor. It's basically like a microphone. It's listening to the engine for like any kind of knock or irregularity or anything like this. And if it does detect any kind of knock or anything, then it's going to send a signal to the computer, and the computer is going to adjust the timing of the engine until the knock goes away. But when you get a P0330 code, the computer's seeing some kind of problem with this sensor, and so it's going to have to be troubleshooted to know why. And if you have a V6 or V8 engine, you're going to have two banks. Bank 1 is always deciding the engine with the number 1 cylinder. So if you go Google your engine cylinder locations and you find the number 1 cylinder, since there can be differences, that's going to be the bank 1 side, and then the opposite of that is going to be bank 2. If you have a 4-cylinder engine, then it wouldn't matter. You'd only have one bank. And so what would be some possible causes of a P0330 code? Well, the first thing that could cause this is that knock sensor has just gone bad and just needs to be replaced. There's some different ways to go about testing these knock sensors. There's some good YouTube videos on that. But the first thing that's going to cause this is a bad knock sensor. The next thing that could cause this is the wiring going to the knock sensor. Basically, if there's any kind of issue there's an open, there's a short, something like this, and that's going to cause problems. If you do go to work on your vehicle, you will need to get wiring schematics to know for sure what's going on in the wiring and which pins they're going to and things like this, since there will be differences. But if you get a wiring diagram and you have a multimeter, you could go through and check those wires back to the computer and be sure everything's good. One thing to mention about these knock sensors that a lot of people do, I don't recommend doing this, but a lot of people do it. And basically, sometimes that knock sensor could be hard to get to. It could be underneath an intake manifold or down somewhere where you have to basically like tear apart a whole bunch of stuff to get to it. But sometimes they don't want to take the time to test the wiring or anything. So what they'll do is they'll go buy a new knock sensor and then they'll relocate it up on top of the engine somewhere, like on the block or on the intake manifold or something like this. It's going to have to be attached to the engine very well. And then they find and cut the wires that's going to that knock sensor and they attach it to the new one up on top of the engine somewhere. And if the code goes away, they know they got a bad knock sensor. Well, a lot of people just leave it like that. If the code doesn't go away, then they know it's inside the wiring, so they'll start troubleshooting the wiring after that. So that is an option, and a lot of people do that. Like I said, I don't recommend doing this. It's best to go and get that knock sensor where it's located and either test it or replace it. But the next thing that's going to cause this is some kind of wiring issue. And the last thing on the list is going to be some kind of engine malfunction. And basically, if there's some kind of problem inside the engine, like the timing's off or something like that, that knock sensor might be doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's seeing that there is some kind of issue, so it's reporting this back to the computer. The computer's trying to make up for it. And that can sometimes trigger knock sensor codes. But if that does happen, usually you'll be getting other codes. So if you are getting other codes, be sure to pay attention to that. But the last thing on the list is going to be that there is some kind of engine malfunction. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to give a basic overview of how you go about fixing a vehicle with the P0330 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me. I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.